Shalom, shalom. It's your brother Ratazah Allah from GMS London Camp. First and foremost, we want to give all praises and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, the great millstone. Blessings to the hopeful and sincere elect. Just a real quick one. Seeing this article here with regards to the new sanctioning for British travellers, anyone that's travelling throughout the EU, because Great Britain's not a part of the EU anymore, the 10 toes, so to speak, prophesied in Daniel's the second chapter. But yet and still, they're still cooperating, so to speak, if that's even a word, in regards to border controls and so on and so forth and travelling. But this is just a quick example of not being able to travel, where you want to in these last days, as it tells you in 2 Ezra 16, that a man shall desire to go into a city and should not be able because of these new biometric tracking and tracing tag laws that these devils are, permitting in society, going into the digital ID, which they said they're going to reinforce in 2026, pivotal year in the mark of the beast system being implemented around the four winds of the earth. Abarazar bringing an end to this wicked ass society, known as Babylon the Great, or the beast system, controlled by America. And it says, this is a picture here still, it says British passport holders face a host of new checks when travelling to and from the EU. Now basically they're saying that for any British homeowners outside of the UK and these EU different countries and all that in Europe, if they have homes in those countries, they're only going to be permitted to stay in that residency for up to 90 days, 3 months. And if they exceed that number, they're going to go through basically sanctions and basically they're going to be breaking the law. Basically it's going to be seen as illegal, and if they're caught, they're going to be found by border control police or whatever and be deported, or just basically pushing this whole biometric tracking and tracing system to the four winds, man. This is the whole part of the new world order agenda, that everything's going to be tracked and traced. Citizens what you're going to be able to have their own way, do what they want anymore. Everything's going to be controlled by their governments, man. This is what it's all about, from the oligarchs of society, the cabal, the 1%, the banking elite. This is what they ultimately want control, subjugation of all citizens on the face of the earth for this new world order, by way of them accepting the biometric device known as the chip, which is the MOT to the B, prophesied in Revelations 13 verse 16, that everyone's going to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead to carry on in society, so to speak, and anyone that does anything outside of that is basically part of civil disobedience to the government. So they're going to be outcasted and basically seen, made as criminals, so persecuted as well as criminals. So it says they got fingerprint scanning technology. So basically when you come to the EU borders or whatever now, you're gonna have to scan your fingerprints and your have facial recognition identity to gain access into that country, and it's going to be on their system, whatever country that is, for up to 3 years. They say it's going to be in their system, so they're going to have all your records digitally online, and that's ultimately what they want to do with the CHIP. So when you go to a country, you're going to be your ID. You're not going to need to give no retina, no facial recognition anymore, because you're going to have that CHIP. So anywhere you go, it's going to be automatically scanned by the different monitors and security systems, and then you'll just be able to pass through and travel to wherever you're at, if they see so fit, if it's legal for you to be in that country. But if it's not, it's gonna show up as a red alert, basically, probably on your chip. When you try and pass through a certain border and all that, it's gonna flash red. It's gonna make certain noises and or basically notify the authorities that you're on illegal and you shouldn't be permitted to go into certain countries or gain access. So this is what this is all coming to. We're coming down to all control of everything in society, every fragment and everything that we need to do to live and travel in society, the IoT, the Internet of Things, and then you're gonna be part of that Internet of Things. Well, regarding that C-hip technology going inside your right hand and your forehead, man, the MOT to the B. Says Nick, Neil Hesketh, the Secretary of Support in Spain, says a British charity warned that enforcement of the new rules could catch out hundreds of thousands of people. Yeah, so this is what it was all about: immigration, border control. It says British passport holders face a host of new checks when travelling to and from the EU. So this is what it's all about, man. Total control, total submission of citizens to the New World Order, wicked elite cabal, and like Carl Schwab said, you own nothing can be happy, man. So even if you got a second home in a different country, you literally don't own it, because these devils can take that shit from you if you break these bylaws or whatever, But just to go straight into the scriptures, one precept and then I'll close out. It's real short and sweet. 2 Ezra 15 and 17. It says, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. And that's happening from now, because we're in the beginnings of the beginning of Jacob's trouble, where the tensions are only going to increase and get more and more corrosive and more volatile, to the point where people are going to be rioting more and more, and more, great tribulations. Time of Jacob's trouble, as brothers well know, is on the table right now, as all these different raids and ice raids and martial law, national guards that are being enforced through the president, Donald Trump, aka Nero 47, regarding the Insurrection Act, where he's going to override the Constitution and post comitatus and all that, and basically permit for martial law to be enacted in all 50 states of America, and basically be war type law that's going to be governing the whole system basically, and Trump being that dictator with his private army, modern day Hitler, with the Nazi party, with the NZs, and trying to enforce this new draconian new world order, man. And it's gonna be a worldwide effect, because you got all these different countries as of late. I think they said there's something over like 20 different countries that are endorsing digital IDs now. You got India that want to permit digital IDs as well. Russia said they got their own different biometric service that they're going to run. They got it for app on your phone at the moment, but it's also going to go into the mark of the beast, being the chip that they're going to put in underneath your skin. They call their one, I think they call it Max program. So all these countries, because it's a worldwide thing, as it tells you in Revelation 3 and 10, it shall come across all the world. I want to read that and then close out. But like the scripture says here, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. Why? Because if you haven't got a digital ID, you're not going to be able to gain access into different cities. You're not going to be able to leave different cities. If you don't register with this new biometric digital ID, and especially if you don't take that mark, you're going to be off. You're going to be ousted from society. Basically, you're going to be what's the word? Exiled. You're going to be like an exile in society. You're going to have to live off the grid for the most part, and that would be better than taking the damn chip anyway, or just put your head in the guillotine and be put to death. If it comes to that, it's so be it. The Lord sees so fit. The certain men are going to have to get beheaded for this truth as a witness to Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, testimony of this truth. So if that comes to pass, and it be the will of the Lord, then so be it, man. But for the most part, man, Esau is going to go harder than ever to reinforce and push everyone into that corner to accept this new world order, man, and that draconian C-hip technology, man, by any means necessary. So all these different unlawful decrees that these devils are permitting right now is to back people into a corner to accept this new world order. But only the elect are not going to be deceived. So Let me read Revelations 3 and 10 and then close out real quick. Revelations 3 and 10 says, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, meaning holding on to this truth, that Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, which is only as a gift, only given to certain men known as the elect, says, I will also keep thee from the hour of temptation, meaning that no matter what, the elect are not going to be deceived into taking it, even if their heads are brought into a guillotine and chopped off for being for their faith, basically, and them enduring into the end, or even if they're cast into prison for a certain amount of time. The Lord said, be ye faithful unto death, and you shall receive a crown of life. It says, which shall come upon all the world, and that's in the oikoumene sense, meaning the whole known world that's inhabited by all these populous people, man. Population's up to 8 point something billion right now. So out of those 8 billion, Esau's looking to basically chip everyone that's in the known world, especially in these major cities. It's just to try them that dwell upon the earth. Yes, it's a thing that's going to come as a trial upon man, woman, and child, man. And only the elect, as I said, are going to be the only ones to resist this, even unto death. So this is the final test that's coming down the pike, the hour of temptation. And it's very imperative that you do not take that mark, do not take the C-hip technology in your right hand, in your forehead, or any part of your body, man. No matter what, and endure to the end. Have faith in Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. Our Baratas will be part of that Lord's number, the elect. You're gonna have that faith into the bittersweet end. So anyway, with that, I'm gonna close out. Give all praises and glory to Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai Hashem, B'Chachodash, and Shalom to the hopeful and sincere elect.